Not massively, not like he's going to win it for sure, but I have to give a big edge here.
Well, here's Rogue at 8-7 so far, 1-2 in ZVZ. Not so many Zergs played for him in Pro League. And in his recent 5 games, just going 2-3. Gives him that sideways arrow.
Yeah, he looks a bit tired today. Hopefully he can keep his wits about him. He's got to keep his hands warm as well. It's a bit chilly today.
Yeah, it is. It's so windy today. We were dealing with that here in Korea before. But here is DongRaeGu, 8-7. A bit of a fan favorite here, actually getting a cheer. 2-1 in ZVZ. As you have mentioned, he has come through in so many important ZVZs before. That's one of the reasons I side with him, and I'm just riding the DRG hype train here. Just seeing him go up and up, I'm like, I want this guy to come back, and I think he has a good chance to take this one.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a pretty deciding moment, I feel, for DRG. Like, losing this matchup would definitely plunge him, I feel, back into the depths, but winning it could give him that confidence he needs to go into the rest of round 3 here. Rogue, his opponent, definitely a great Zerg versus Zerger. We're going on to Outboxer for game number 1.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left on Outboxer in the red for JINAIR Green Wings is Rogue.
Into the bottom right in blue for MVP, it's DongRaeGu.
So I think we've had this before where the colors were a bit off.
Yeah.
Not the team colors, but it is red and blue. It should be. I feel like that's your standard, 1 versus 1 color there.
Yeah, I like that a lot, but, in Pro League we normally have things a bit different. But both players dropping that 9 Overlord, and seems to be that we're going to have a more macro-oriented opening from these two rather than any early pool shenanigans. What's interesting to me about this map is pretty Terran favored right now, I would say, especially in TVZ matchup, but both players chosen here Zergs. And that must mean that I feel they've had some really good practice in the ZVT matchup here. Or maybe they were just feeling like there's some sort of internal discussion about how strong Zerg is in general right now, and they were thinking, you know what, they might send a Terran out here, but I think Zerg is really strong against Terran right now, so I will beat them in the ZVT.
Yeah, I mean, especially for MVP, if you look at DongRaeGu, we said it time and time again, when they send him out 3rd and MVP goes down 0-2, he often gets like some big nerve issues, and he doesn't play as well as he could. I feel like sending him out here first, regardless of map, is a very good idea.
Suppy loves Pro League. I always knew he had a thing for Pro League.
Oh man, yeah, Suppy is here in the crowd, and I'm looking at Moonblade. He can't see me, but or he can't hear me.
Well, pool first here, actually going down for DRG. Just gonna take his hatch a bit later. And there's going to be like a little bit of downtime here, but these two builds don't really give either player a significant distinct advantage because the player who has the pool first gets the faster queen, the faster injects. The player who has the hatchery first gets that extra larva first, gets the better saturation first, but at this level of a drone count, it doesn't end up being too significant. Obviously the hatch first player is slightly ahead, but you can kind of equalize that.
Yeah, not too bad. Well, hold that thought. Here's Suppy again.
Suppy, and it looks like Kane alongside him over there.
Yeah, and Moonglade is there as well. You guys can't see him on the camera with that shot, but he's hiding behind the pillar. One thing for Zergs, a lot of them like to go hatch first because the queens line up, and you get the injects at the same time. It makes it a little bit easier to get your macro down. So that can be just one thing, comfort-wise, to go for.
Yeah. Well, I did want to mention the reason why I was not here yesterday was actually I was here but had to leave. It's because I've been having some health problems, and they're not yet resolved, but I'm feeling better today, and hoping that I'm not going to be missing any more Pro League going forward. But just thought I'd give you guys that heads up because I never really tweeted or said anything about it. But now you guys know.
Yeah. Should be okay. Get things going.
Yeah. Well, gas goes down here now for Rogue. And I mean, we've talked about this a little bit in Code A recently. in Zerg versus Zerg, I like the style of skipping ling speed, getting a bunch of extra minerals, and using that to your advantage later on. But a lot of people really do like that faster gas or faster ling speed into using the lings to control the map. And I'm not exactly sure what Rogue has planned here. DRG takes double gases back at home, though, so he's not holding out on gas for very long.
Yeah, and he actually did that right after he pushed out the Zerglings. He wanted to deny the scout for Rogue. He didn't want Rogue to know, and maybe he assumed that there would be an Overlord coming into his main base soon enough. And, well, there is no Overlord coming in there, but maybe that's what he thought. But he just decided to put it as natural, maybe just to hide it for now. Adding a third gas, actually.
Yeah. Could be trying to do something funny here. You know, go for Spire or something.
Something tricky.
Something sneaky. Let's see. If he doesn't add the Evolution Chambers pretty soon, it's going to be pretty apparent. See if he drops that lair right now. He adds that extra gas. There's the lair.
Yeah,
Lings are going to come over here.
Yeah, and they're going to get into the main base, actually, and they're going to scout this right away. This Queen, you know, trying to deny as much scouting and kill that Zergling now, but he's gotten all the information he needs. That Zergling has done his job.
Saw all the gases, and no matter if DRG had another plan earlier, he's definitely not sticking with it now. Adding the Roach Warren and the Evolution Chamber. Really don't think that's him faking it. I don't think he's going to do that and then be like, haha, now you think that, and then go to the Spire to try to like further trick him. I think he's definitely going to go into more normal play now. That Overlord will escape over here. The Queen's doing a moonwalk. Oh, they're chasing it.
He's still banking a lot of gas here. He just started the +1, but he's still keeping all those drones and all those 3 gases for now. He hasn't added the 4th, of course, because he's not going to need it here for a while. But we're going to see a considerable amount of roaches be able to come out because of this. Starting to go up to 8 now with the +1 on the way. So far, Rogue has not made any roaches. He's just made a ton of lings. And his link speed is done, so now he's going to come across here. He's going to try to deny this third base, and there's not much here for DongRaeGu. He sees all those links. He has to cancel.
Even tries to save the drone here, and I think he will. Yeah, he saves the drone. So a nice early cancel there. I like that a lot. Sometimes you'll wait till the last second to try to cancel so your opponent spends more time on the hatch, but in this case, he saves the drone. And, you know, back at home, he has the much faster link speed, or rather, roach speed. He's getting +1. And he's got the faster roach count in general. He's going to have to cancel this hatch again.
And there he does. He does get the cancel on, and the roach, or rather the drone does go down. So he's going to have to bring down another drone, which is going to add some more and more time here. Like you were saying, the tech firm is better in terms of the roaches. His roach speed is going to be so far ahead. But the third here for Rogue is down much earlier. And he's got the index here. He's going to get a ton more larvae over DongRaeGu now from here on out.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to take a look right now at the roach count. So, pretty similar, a little bit more for DRG at 13 to now 10. It was 8 when I first checked, and now he's making 4 more. So, he's catching up in roaches, but this gives DRG the ability to drone a little bit. And he's going to need that base, obviously, to send all these drones to. He doesn't want to be oversaturated on 2 base. And I wonder what Rogue plans to do next. Is he going to try to do a big swell of roaches and try to attack, hit a timing? Or is he going to also drone up himself? Because if that's his choice, then he's already behind. So it's hard for him to identify what's coming up next for DRG. And it's hard for him to also guess that DRG just made a ton of drones because his third base still isn't ready yet.
Yeah. He's not even going to see the drone transfer here. He may assume, you know, just because he's getting that third base up that some drones are going to have to come over there and he'll need those drones. But still, it's something hard to just see yourself here. Looks like Rogue right now, he does have a large number of roaches now. He did make a ton of them, and he's following up with a bunch of lings here. I think he's gearing up for an attack here.
Yeah, could be. I mean, he stopped at 46. 50 lings now, approximately in total. 23 roaches to match the roach count of DRG. With the lings to tank and support at the front, it's going to be a strong attack that he comes across here with.
Yeah, even bringing some queens. So I think this is going to be a committal here. He's going to go for a strong attack. DRG with the queens of his own. We'll see how this goes down. Once the lings come across, I think the Rogue is going to commit here, and he does, and the lings come across, and they're actually going to get a decent surround around a lot of these roaches, and Rogue is pushing in.
He's pushing in here, and the thing is, a lot of those roaches had to kite back against the lings, and every single time they do that, Rogue's units get an extra fire in. So he's just basically using those lings to tank a little bit, force a better engagement, and now he's crushing through here, and he's going to start killing these units as they spawn. The queens are here as well, and it looks like Rogue has hit this timing very nicely. DRG being a bit too greedy with those drones, and GG, it's just that tempo advantage. You force a cancel hatch twice, you kill the drones. That means his hatch is even further delayed. He doesn't have a lot of larvae, and he's drone up because he needs to catch up in drones because he thinks, okay, wow, you're probably on 3 base a lot of drones, and that's his mistake because Rogue is keeping drone light.
That's DRG just assuming and panicking a little bit. I like what you said. It's just him being like, oh, you've had the 3rd base for so much longer than me. I need to catch up to you economic-wise. And Rogue back at home, he's just like, no, I'll just make a ton of units. I'll get my +1. I might be down on the armor, the upgrade there, but it's not going to matter. I'm just going to have way too much. And Rogue just playing the ZBZ very, very nicely here. Your prediction comes true. 1-0 for JINAIR.
SOS looking even happier than he does about that win. And he's not wasting any time getting his gear set up for his match.
Yeah.
Well, things are looking grim for MVP now because this is not a good situation to lose DRG in that quick.